Good morning and welcome to the fourth hour. Nice to have you along this morning as we start a new week. And as we watch what's going on, I think in California, I have been very, very moved by the devastating wildfires that we've seen in California. It's hard not to be. And then you've got all of the political circus that is underway as well. So what is California Governor Gavin Newsom? What are the Democrats doing? This is just incredible. They've reached a deal to Trump-proof the state. I'd like to give him a fist, all right, Gavin Newsom. They've reached a $50 million agreement to shore up state and local legal defenses against the Trump administration. And one wonders then what the impact the California fires are going to have on this. I mean, seriously, they're acting like they're made of money. So this is a piece from Politico that it's reporting this. The first of its kind in the country, positioning California to lead the second-term resistance against Donald Trump. These people are nuts. I was hoping things would get better, and here we are. It just keeps getting worse, and I seriously shake my head, and it's really incredible. Steve says, I see Gavin Newsom and Elizabeth Warren. Yeah, there's somebody you want to partner with. Raising money for the fire with Act Blue that takes a cut of the funds for itself. Yeah, you really want to be careful who you give money to. You want to make sure that because you've got a number of groups, they raise money and a percentage of it goes just to their operating expenses. Great point. Steve also was asking me this question. Yeah, actually, I think she starts on Friday with paperwork. Actually, we'll start the job on Monday of next week. So she has had some other things going on, and so we couldn't get her started. But yeah, she'll be starting next week, and then of course it'll take a little bit of training, but we'll get her up and running hopefully as quickly as possible. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it, pal. Also, what are you guys just sick of listening to me? That's what's going on. One of my priorities is to get the phones ringing again to get your thoughts, and really, really interested in doing that. And so getting a producer on board is going to really help do that. And it will also mean then we'll get the podcast rolling again. So that's something where I just don't have time in my day to go through and produce the podcasts and post those. I just haven't had the time to do it. So we'll get the podcast up and running again because we've got a Steve is saying why he likes a call screener. I appreciate that. Okay, fair enough. I have found then that that can get out of hand sometimes. Where I'm sitting and I'm on with the caller, and that call has run its course, and I'm waiting to take another call. I see the lines, and it's like, come on, we're moving quickly here. So we'll see where it goes. Not to criticize past call screeners. It's a tough job. Seriously. Yeah, I believe it's a tough job. So we'll get rolling, hopefully, with the call screener next week. Okay. Other news that I want to share with you this morning. This is from, take a look at this. These are stories, top stories. Steve Bannon, Elon Musk. Steve Bannon pledging to take down Elon Musk. Are you seeing this morning? The Hill. Steve Bannon says he'll take down the truly evil Elon Musk. New York Times, Elon Musk is an evil person, says Steve Bannon. So let's take a look at that New York Times story. I don't know. Have you seen Elon Musk do anything that, in your opinion, would characterize him as an evil person? Because there are a pretty good number of evil people around there. I see. Elon Musk is not one who would have come to the top of my mind. Why is Steve Bannon going after Elon Musk? Let's see if we can find out here. I've not had a chance to look at this story. Just glanced it. So he's calling him a truly evil person. I will get Elon Musk kicked out by the time Trump is inaugurated, he's saying. He won't have a blue pass with full access to the White House. He'll be like everyone else. Bannon, in an interview last week, said he's a truly evil person. Stopping him has become a personal issue for me. Yeah, Steve, kind of looks that way. And where's that coming from? I'm looking to see if there's any reason that he is. So Musk has not responded. I think because Musk, frankly, is smarter than this. The H-1B visas. Elon Musk has talked about that. So he says he should go back to South Africa. Really? Anybody believe that besides Steve Bannon? So I don't believe that. And I would be the first to tell you, I don't agree with Elon Musk on everything. And I've said this on the air to you a number of times. I don't agree with Elon Musk on everything. Also think the guy is absolutely brilliant. Steve Bannon, brilliance is not the name that comes to mind. I mean, I want to give Bannon credit. I'm not trying to be derogatory here, but brilliant is not the mind that, or the word that springs to mind when I think of Steve Bannon. So I just don't know where that's coming from. Edgy's got a good point here that innovators are frequently labeled as evil. And Melissa's also saying that she does not see Elon Musk as evil. She said, I think that Elon has been very naive in some instances, and as you say, brilliant in others. I think a lot of us have been. That's kind of human nature, right? Some people are a little more naive than others. And sometimes I have thought the same thing. And again, I don't agree with Elon Musk on everything, but evil, I think a lot of us have seen truly evil, things that are really, really evil that are going on in our society and our country right now. We've seen it. Throwing out that word or those words about Elon Musk, I don't know that has any impact. Certainly doesn't to me. It just makes me then kind of wonder what, if Steve Bannon is losing it, that time in jail has caused him to kind of lose his grip a little bit. Let's focus on the things that are really important. I mean, that's what the country's got to do. We've got to focus on those things. If Donald Trump becomes president, focus on the things that are important, and that stuff, this personal. Oh, is that jealousy? Is he jealous because Elon Musk, while Steve Bannon was in jail, Elon Musk had been elevated, and Trump is listening to Elon Musk, taking a lot of advice from Elon Musk. Is it jealousy? Is he that petty? I don't know. I think you see that. I'm not saying this is the case with Steve Bannon, but you see that with people that get close to power and they don't want to lose it. I think we're seeing that with Mark Zuckerberg right now on Facebook a little bit going in. And I laughed out loud. Mark Zuckerberg going in for excuse me, I'm going to backtrack just a bit. Have any of you seen have any of you seen Mark Zuckerberg on the Joe Rogan Experience? Steve, I know you watch Joe Rogan on occasion. Have any of you seen Zuckerberg on the Joe Rogan Experience? I have not yet. I plan to watch it. And that's something I think Katie would similarly be engaged in. I think that might interest her. I wonder if any of you have seen it. And I would. So what did you think, Melissa? Melissa says she saw it. What did you think? Steve says, I haven't seen it and I don't plan on watching it either, he says. Why not? Curious to know why not. Because I plan on watching it. And again, the reason is it'll be, as I was reading the comments from Zuckerberg and the things that he was saying, I want to be able to read him as he's saying these things. I want to read him for myself as to whether or not I think he is, where he's coming from. Because I wonder if I'm going to come away with the same reaction that Melissa has. Yeah, that he's out saving his behind. Certainly, as I was reading the press clippings, this morning, that's what I'm coming away with. So is that correct? I would like to see it before I really make that determination as to whether or not that's the case. I had wondered if any of you had seen it. Melissa, thank you. Again, she said, he's young. My instinct was that the government scared him the way they scare many people. That could be. It could be. Fear will do that. I think it's certainly a strong emotion, being fearful. So, Melissa, thank you very much. I appreciate that. There was one other story I wanted to share with you this morning. The Washington Post has lost nearly 90% of its audience since 2021. Can you imagine that? Losing 90% of your audience? This is the reason that Jeff Bezos, now the owner of the Washington Post, trying to bring the left-leaning publication, not left-leaning, I think they're out far left field, trying to bring the publication more to the center. Data on web traffic over the last few years shows the daily numbers shrank substantially from their high in 2021 at the beginning of Biden's term in the White House. And so their numbers started dropping. You've seen this not only in the Washington Post, and they point out here, MSNBC also has lost ratings. Comcast so badly that Comcast is looking to spin off the network. And now they're looking for, this just always cracks me up. They're in trouble. So now we're looking for right-wing voices, and we gotta find one. We gotta find one. Really, that's going to be it. You're going to get one right-wing voice who's going to come in, and that's really a game changer. CNN has done this too. CNN, they've got, and forgive me, I forget his name off the top of my head, but they do the panel discussion, and they've got, it's far left liberals and then one Republican, and they get the crap kicked out of them. The guy on CNN is actually quite sharp. He's pretty sharp. I enjoy what he says. But let's bring in Steve is saying Joe Scarborough was a Republican. Maybe they could get him. Yeah. Pretty crazy. Bob's over on Facebook. And he says, it's amazing what these people will do when they are scared of somebody. Yeah. Again, you don't think clearly, I think, when you're scared. You really don't. I have said this in regard to the news. You really kind of have to take a step back, and you really, I want to process things. I want to wait and see what happens. I'll give you an example. Greenland and the conversation last week, and you had all these people worked up, and you had people in, over in Denmark who were worked up about this, and the knee-jerk reactions that we saw last week. And now this morning, the news, there was a story trending. I shared it earlier this morning. Denmark is, you know what? They'll talk to Donald Trump. We're still not interested, but we're going to talk to Donald Trump. We're going to have a sit down. So one of the things, and you really have to be mindful of this as a news consumer, as events are happening, give it a little bit of time. You may have an immediate reaction to some things in your gut are just wrong, or you applaud some things and you just know, hey, that's right. That's right on. That's something I've always believed. I'm on board. But when it comes to overall news, there's nothing wrong with letting it, just kind of sitting on it and wait to see what happens before you just fly off the deep end, because that's what social media does. Honestly, I know all of you are on social media, and I am as well. But I really, rather than having a gut reaction and getting, being a keyboard warrior, and I'm going to go down my, start clacking away a response, no, just take a step back, watch what happens, see where you're at, see if maybe a day or two, maybe something else will come out and you look at it in a completely different perspective. It's happened to me on more than one occasion. So this, we live in a society wants everything now, and everything has to be immediate. When it comes to your judgment, however, I think you are wise if you wait. If you wait and see, watch developments, watch what unfolds, make a decision when you're confident that, you've got a pretty good handle on what's going on. We don't see that generally. Generally, it's just knee-jerk reactions, and people get upset, and they, reacting. I mentioned this on the air this morning, and right near the end of the program, I was really quite taken aback at the response of social media to a man who had posted, he's out in Los Angeles, and he's trying to protect his home from fire. And he was asking people if they knew of any private firefighters. He wanted to hire private firefighters to protect his place. And people are just upset with him. And there are a number of stories regarding this. And I thought, wait a minute, man. Again, you really want to criticize somebody for wanting to protect their home, that if they had the wherewithal to be financially to be able to hire somebody, firefighters to come in and protect your property, I just thought, what the hell is wrong with that? And what is wrong with the people? Oh, this is, they're just so offended by that. And I thought, who wouldn't do the same? If you have the resources and your home is threatened, who wouldn't do the same? I think many of us would. Who wouldn't try to protect their things, try to protect their home, so I really try to take a breath, put both feet on the ground, kind of grab a hold of something, and sometimes I need to grab a hold of something and just say, okay, let's slow down. Everybody's in a rush to make a decision. Everybody's in a rush to, there's something to be said for being a little bit more thoughtful in your, whether it's political opinions or just in response to almost anything. I have never found, very rarely have I found that waiting was a bad idea. Generally, you wind up looking at something with a little bit, with a clearer point of view. I'm going to leave it there for the, excuse me. I'll leave it there for this Monday morning. I want to thank you so much for being here. Hit that like button before you leave. What are innovative ways that I can encourage you to hit the like button? What can I do short of offering you money? Some of you are like, yeah. What can I do to appeal to you enough to get you to hit that like button? I have got to figure out that conundrum. But I'll leave it there for today. I do want to thank you for being here. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope to see you again tomorrow as well. So long until then, my friend, and may God bless. Take care.